Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this is the second video on the new channel that we have made here. If you guys didn't know, the original channel got copy striked. I'm pretty sure all of you know. You guys are probably all from the old channel. But basically, what's just a quick update on what's been going on. There is actually a possibility that I will be getting my channel back. So I've done some negotiations with the person who put out the copyright strikes, and it is very possible that we could be getting the main channel back. So it just might be maybe a week or 2 weeks or something like that. But don't get your hopes too high, because there always is a possibility that this could not, go through as we planned it to. And we could just lose the main channel forever. So make sure to go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, basically in this video, I wanted to do a bit more of an exclusive video. This channel is mainly just now my my most loyal fans. So yeah, thank you guys for subscribing. It really means a lot, and the amount of support you guys have shown me has just been amazing. But basically, today we're going to be getting into a bit for more exclusive topic, and that's going to be movement. Now, a lot of you have been asking for a movement guide from me, just an updated movement guide. And in today's video, I'm going to show you guys everything I know about movement. This is literally everything I know about movement, and this is literally everything I use in ranked, in scrims, in everything, man. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Basically, how this is going to work is I'm going to show you guys, just tell you guys a few basic tips, just basic stuff. And then I'm going to be getting into all the different types of peaks, and then all the different types of ways that you can win gunshots. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the video. Alright, so for just the basic tips, the most important tip for me is probably just to keep on the move. So you don't ever want to be stuck in one spot. Even as a sniper, a lot of snipers in this game still move around a lot. If you do stand still, if you're holding a point, for example, holding a point for your team in hardpoint or something like that, then you always want to be checking around you still. Just do a little bit of checking, just don't stay completely still for the whole entire game. That's just definitely not what you want to do, and it's not really going to help your movement at all. And chances are you're going to end up dying from behind, from the side at one point or another. So definitely just always keep on the move. Just another quick basic tip, make sure to don't rush into fights that you can't win. So if you're using, like, I don't know, a Pharaoh at 30 meters and you're rushing a sniper, you probably don't want to be challenging those fights. So you got to move, you can't just do flashy movement. You've got to move smart. You can't just use this movement. You can take all the movement from this video and you could just not come away with anything just because you're not playing smart enough. But you got to play smart. You got to know when to use movement. You got to know which guns. And for example, if you're using a high damage output gun, you don't really need that much movement. Movement's just gonna make it longer until you can get your shots in. And if you're versing someone with a high damage gun, then you're either gonna have to do really, really good movement and hope their aim goes away, or you're going to have to, if your movement's not that good, not too much movement at least, just so you don't waste time on their time to kill, if you know what I'm trying to say. So they'd kill you while you're moving, which is not really good. You want to get some shots in. But yeah, that's basically the basic tips for movement. Alright, so if we get into the different types of peaks, so the very first peak we're going to be talking about is a slide peak. Now, for all the peaks and all the different gunfight things, I'm going to be you can use this, yeah, you can definitely use this for ADS as well. I'm going to be showing a bit of that. So you can use this for hipfire and ADS, it doesn't really matter too much. But basically, first peak is a slide peak, and this is my favorite. All you have to do is just peek around a corner, and all you have to do is just basically slide and aim in. If you're doing ADS, then that would just be sliding and centering your crosshair so that it's where a person would be, and you just like that. That's basically how you would do an ADS slide peek. Just like that. It's not really too hard. You just got to get some good centering in, and that's basically the slide peek. But the peeking in general, if we're just talking about peeking itself, then it does require a bit of map knowledge. So when you peek, you just don't peek like random spots. You got to peek where you think people will be. And this only comes from experience and playing the game long enough. Then you can actually know where people are. So people will normally be at least, and you just peek different spots. Yeah, the next peek is jump peek. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just peek out of a corner or something, and you just jump and aim in. Not too hard. The next one, we've got slide jump peeking, and basically what you want to do is just use the slide and jump. Yeah, just the two different types of peeking that I showed you guys before, just combine them together, and then you get the slide jump. This is good for situations, and sometimes when I do the slide jump, I might add an extra jump. It just gives me a bit more of a boost. But yeah, that's basically slide jump peeking. Okay, this is a bit more of a complicated one, and this is called the slide jump back peeking. Now, this was introduced maybe a couple of seasons ago. So basically, what happens is, you now jump the way you face. So what you want to do this is you can, for example, you're in the open and then you see some cover, so you can go behind the cover, and then what you want to do is just, I'll show it on screen, but basically what you want to do is just turn your screen the other way, so 180 degrees, and then you want to jump. But when you turn it, you want to make sure you're turning it mid-slide. So before the slide animation ends, then you're jumping back. So it's pretty complicated, and it does take a bit of practice, but once you master it, it is super helpful. It looks absolutely crazy. It just spazzes on the enemy screen, and I think it just looks really, really cool. It's a bit harder to control your aim with, but if you can, get the results, then it definitely is worth it. The next different type of peek is re-peeking. Now, this is what I do all the time. I normally re-peek with slides. I feel like it just looks cleaner, and yeah, it just feels cleaner as well. So I kind of recommend re-peeking with slides, but you can also re-peek with like jumps or slide jumps or anything else I've showed on this list. So yeah, that's about it. All right, so if we move on to the different types of ways that you can win gunshot fights, we can win fights. Sorry. All right, we'll just go through some basics, and then we'll just power through it. So one way you can do is strafe. That's basically just moving joystick left and right, just left and right, not too fast and not too slow, kind of in between, just kind of left and right, and shooting at the same time. It does put your enemy's aim off a little bit, especially if they're sniping. It's pretty hard to hit someone who's really good at strafing. The next thing we've got is a jump shot. So jump shotting is basically strafing, but with every time that you move your joystick in a certain direction. For example, you move it right, then you jump, then you move it left, then you jump. So it makes it look like you're just hopping everywhere like a spastic bunny. And yeah, it's just really useful. However, your aim can be a little bit bad. Your aim isn't always the best when you're doing it. And so I probably wouldn't recommend it if your aim isn't really that good already. You've got to have a bit, sort of like recoil control, sort of, tactics and stuff. It's pretty hard to explain, but once you do it, you'll just probably get used to it over time. We also have the drop shot. Pretty self-explanatory. Mid-fight, just drop shot. Just hold the crouch button or use the drop shot button. Probably recommend the crouch button, to be honest. That's basically all you have to do for drop shotting. And the next one is the slide jump. So while you're in the middle of a gunfight, if somebody is getting you really low and you're not going to win just by firing and just standing still, then what you can do is just add in an extra movement in a gunfight. So for example, you're super low and you just want to throw them off because there's nothing else you can do. Just throw them off with your movement. You can do a slide jump just in the middle of a gunfight. So just go slide jump, and then that works. Next thing we have to do is slide forward to throw off the aim. So this is a little bit like a mobile drop shot. So what you do is you just kind of slide forward and you just aim in and shoot them. It's basically, it doesn't look that good on your screen, but on the enemy screen it does look much harder, and it's essentially a drop shot. That's basically how it looks on the screen, except you're moving. That's the slide forward to throw off the aim. And then over here we've also got the slide jump back, which I did show you guys before in the peeking. You can do this mid gunfight. You literally just in the middle of a gunfight just bust this out, and you can just throw people's aim off so badly. Like, this thing is pretty OP when you're trying to throw off people's aim. We've also got a slide to the side. Now this is a little bit more complicated, so I'll just try and explain as best as I can. Basically what you want to do, so for example, we want to slide to the left. I want to do slide to the side to the left. And basically what you want to do is, so you face forward and then you turn your screen so that it faces directly 90 degrees to your left. And then what you want to do from there is you just want to slide, and while you're sliding, you want to kind of move your screen crosshair back to the forward position, but aim in during the middle of that as well. So it does take a bit of practice. Just look at how I'm doing it on the screen right now. It should be not too hard to master after a while. It just takes a bit of practice, that's all. It took me quite a bit of practice to master this, but yeah. The other ones we've got are, we've got a slide behind. So this is basically something that you can use at close range. And basically what you want to do is, like, for example, someone's running towards you and you're both running at each other, and you skip past them without being able to kill them with with hip firing or anything like that. Then basically you just go forward, and then once you're at a right, sort of angle, then you just do a slide forward, and then while you're sliding forward, you turn your screen 180 degrees back, and then you aim in. So this is really helpful, and this does it does help you win a lot of gunfights, especially at close range. This is definitely something that you want to use at close range, and just super good for close range. And the very last tip that we have here is the 180 slide. This is not always that effective, but it does look pretty flashy, and it does require a lot of skill. So this is kind of an upgrade from the slide to the side thing that I was talking about before, except this time, instead of turning 90 degrees, you want to turn 180 degrees. So it's a little bit harder. Master the slide to the side first before doing this. And I'm gonna be honest, I barely ever use this. It's just a bit too risky, and it doesn't always work. So basically what this is your enemy's going to think you're either going to slide forward, you drop shot, jump shot, or something like that, but they will never suspect that mid gunfight, you're literally going to turn around back to the opposite direction, and you're just going to slide backwards and then aim at them. I did this in the scrim once, and I just threw this guy off so hard. Like, I just threw his aim off, like, completely. Yeah, just slide back and aim it and shoot. It looks kind of easy, but it does take a bit of practice. But yeah, it's gonna be the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yeah, it's basically the movement guide, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.